This is just going to be a rant, a ramble. I don't know if I'm going to post this. I just I want to express what I'm feeling. This is something that I've noticed more and more. And so I fully acknowledge that I'm feeling triggered right now. Something happens in me when I feel that I am being told to be afraid. When I am being told, wherever this information is coming from, this telling, whether it is external or internal, something happens when I feel like fear is being sort of thrust upon me. And I'm not trying to imply that fear is a bad thing, or that it's wrong, or that it is a thing that people shouldn't feel. I recognize that there is very likely some aversion to the feeling of fear in myself, but also this is why I want to express this, because it feels kind of tangled and tricky. I'm also aware that fear is so very close to excitement that horror and delight are not as far away from each other as we like to think they are. That really all of this hinges, it's the same sensation, it just hinges on a judgment of positive or negative. And if I lean into the feeling of fear, I can actually feel it as excitement. And then I'm not afraid of this potential that is being presented to me, rather. I'm excited. I'm excited by not knowing. I'm excited by not having control. I'm excited by not being prepared, or what have you. I'm excited by the potential that life can turn in an unexpected direction. And it's a simple shift of, I don't expect that direction to be negative. I'm not sure that I can quite say I expect it to be positive, just because that brings up a load of, well, what does positive mean? But I do expect it to be something that I can have fun with. I expect it to be fun, and I expect myself to enjoy it and to find satisfaction and to be pleased, because those are things that can't be taken away from me. Ultimately, my pleasure, my ability to feel pleased with what is my own. And what is irrelevant in that equation. It's the details of what is, the existence of what is, yes. But there is always something being. I am always being. Happening is always taking place. When I am focused into this awareness that it truly doesn't matter what happens, and I look at this story that says, I don't know what's going to happen, and I can see the frowny face on that only has this frowny face when I am believing that I need to know what's going to happen, that I need to be able to see ahead. If I don't believe that I need to see ahead, if I don't believe that I need to know what's going to happen, then I can allow what's going to happen to be a surprise and a delight. I can change my entire feeling about not knowing just by noticing the unchallenged assumption that I need to know what's going to happen. I don't. In fact, I find the life experience is a lot more fun when I don't know what's going to happen, but I expect it to be fun. I expect that I will have fun with it. I trust myself to have fun with it. And I trust life too. I trust life to share in this desire for joy and this kind of cheeky interplay, for us to be playing together. I trust myself and I trust life in this way, and that feels good, and that feels free. That puts me back into this place of relaxation and acceptance and much more presence than this tensed against the potential future because I can't predict it and I'm afraid of it. I'm only afraid of it because I'm already telling a story about it. That's not even actual unknown. That is, the mind is already telling a story. If the mind is saying, I don't know what's going to happen, and that's bad, it has already decided that what's going to happen is bad. That's the only reason I would need to know anything about it, isn't it? If what's going to happen is good, I don't need to know. I don't need to control anything there. It's already taken care of. I only need to know, I only believe that I need to know what's going to happen if I already believe what's going to happen is what would be called bad, what the mind is going to call bad. So then if I unwind this whole badness, if everything just is what it is and none of it affects my capacity for satisfaction and joy, none of it affects my ultimate well-being, then none of it can be bad in the way that the mind defines badness. None of it can actually harm me. None of it can take my joy. None of it can take my ability to enjoy or be pleased with or have fun with what is. Nothing can stop that. So nothing truly bad can happen. If those things can't happen, then nothing really bad can happen. So then what am I worried about? Then why do I need to know what's going to happen? I don't. And that's where I want to be. And I think what frustrates me the most in myself, and what I was getting to before and got off track from, it doesn't matter, this is what it wants to be, is I notice when I feel like a story of fear is being told to me, again, whether it is coming from outside or inside, because my mind does this all the time. And really, the external story only sticks, it only has any effect if there's resonance in the mind, in the internal space. If I've already heard that story in myself. Otherwise, it's just, water off the duck's back. It's totally irrelevant. If it resonates with an internal story, then something shakes in me. And that's a wonderful opportunity to see what's happening there. To see what stories I am still lending credence. I am still giving some of my belief to. And I think that's where the frustration arises. So when I hear a story that seems to say you should be afraid, and you should be prepared, and you should take precautions, and you should prepare for the worst, these kinds of statements, I feel anger. I'm aware that anger is related to fear. I understand that biologically and egoically, it is a fear sort of response. But anger is tricky. I'm still looking through this in myself. But anger doesn't always feel, how do I put this? Defensive. Sometimes it does. But there's this sense that what anger is actually leading me to is back into myself. I can see how it could go either way. It could go either way. It's sort of this fork in the road where I have the choice now. I'm in anger. I have the choice to push against what it is that I feel is sort of thrusting upon me, or to channel this sort of powerful energetic movement into a steadfastness in myself. Instead of turning into a fist that is going to strike, I sort of just focus it down. Push it not in a repression kind of way, but like push myself into the earth. Like now this energy that is flowing through me is I don't know, it's sort of a protective but not defensive. I don't know how to put this, and maybe it's all entirely ego. I don't know, maybe it is. I'm certainly willing to entertain that and accept that if that's true. There's just something about anger that feels like it is helping me to remember myself. And really what I'm angry about, what I feel angry about, is that I have forgotten myself in the first place, is that I've sort of lost my own footing, my own stability, my own trust in what I know and what I choose. And so the anger is really not outwardly projected. It is this anchoring, sort of like a digging in. And I know that I am incredibly stubborn. I know that. I know there's something in me that is incredibly stubborn and incredibly defiant. And maybe that again is just ego. Maybe it is. There's something about it that feels, either it's really clever ego, and that's totally possible, or it's a blend of things. But this defiant thing feels just fiercely. I don't know how to use words. It is fiercely protective of me. It's fiercely protective of. It's supportive of me. Ultimately, it's like this thing in me that says, no, we're not going to listen to that. We're just not going to accept that influence. That's what it is. We're not trying to change this person's mind. We're not trying to change the mind, whether it is within this body or another body. We're not trying to change the mind. We're just not accepting the influence of it. We are not accepting this influence. And it comes through as anger. It does. There's a passion. It's impassioned. I would maybe put it that way. I don't know what else I'm trying to say. Just that I've had this experience a number of times over the past couple of months. It's happened. I've felt it before that. But it seems like the instances are increasing. Or maybe they just have recently. I don't know. But that this is something that I am being shown in myself, and I am wanting to integrate it. I probably want to understand it more than it's possible to understand it. That's a habit of mine, is to try to make sense of things and conceptualize and all of that. That's true. And to grade them. And the mind still wants to put things in the categories of, is this appropriate? Is this not? Is this me? Is this not? Everything is in me. Everything is happening in me. It feels genuine. I don't know. But I haven't determined one way or another. Again, perhaps it doesn't really matter. It's a part of my experience, regardless. So I'm just really curious where it comes from, and it's intensified. This response has intensified. This is a major trigger point for me. Anyone behaving in a way that is worried, including my own mind. I'm not trying to cast judgment on that behavior. I just plainly stating, this is something I've noticed. When worry and fear are expressed in a manner that appear to be trying to get me to be on board. Again, inside or outside. And it only resonates because it happens inside. So really the outside part is irrelevant. This is where the trigger is. The trigger is in me. The trigger is in my own pattern of speaking these words to myself, of hearing these worried stories in my own mind, and debating whether or not I'm going to allow them to influence me, feeling like I'm in a battle with them, feeling like I am fighting their influence, like I'm fighting the influence of fear in my own mind. And trying to understand how do I handle that? How do I experience these stories in a way that is not repressing them or denying them, but also not taking them on, also not accepting influence. I'm back to this how to practice non-belief, which I am categorizing as different from unbelief, or belief against, I should say. So I'm not saying that these things aren't possible. It's more that it's irrelevant, that it doesn't matter. All of these fears, it doesn't matter if they come to pass or not. The biggest fear that could possibly be there is the fear of death, the fear of annihilation. And that one happens. That's the one that I know. At some point, death will happen to this body. I know that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So what else is there to accept? That is the greatest fear. That's the ultimate fear. That's what all of this leads back to. I don't know if it happens, tomorrow or in 5 years or 50 years. I don't know. I can't know. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. This whole need to know thing, it's not true. I don't need to know what happens tomorrow. I don't need to know when this body is going to die. None of that matters. It doesn't make a lick of difference. It doesn't change my capacity for joy in this moment. It doesn't change how I'm going to behave in this moment. I want to be present. I want to be here for this. I want to be in what is. I don't want to be somewhere else. I don't want to be running. I don't want to be running, internally or externally. I want to be here. I want to accept death. I want to accept what is. I want to accept death, knowing that it doesn't matter. It doesn't stop my joy. It doesn't change anything. So death can happen. It doesn't change anything. So then what? Why would I worry about a single thing? Nothing changes my ability to enjoy what is. That's on me, that's in me, that's entirely my domain. Nothing can touch that. That's my domain. Nothing else is. I'm not going to touch anything else because that's not my domain. This is. This right here. That's my kingdom. My capacity for joy, my choice to find fun, my choice to feel and experience what is, and to realize that there is satisfaction in feeling. That I enjoy feeling, and it really doesn't matter what I'm feeling. I enjoy feeling it. I do feel that I am being brought back to this truth again and again and again. And I do feel that at some point I will stop departing from it. And that the anger is something that's helping me. It is kind of an anchor back to this place. It's helping me get back to this place. Again, willing to accept that I have that totally incorrect. Again, I don't see that it really actually matters. I am tapping back into my joy, to my stability, which is an unconditional stability that doesn't seek to control anything. It doesn't care what happens. It's not trying to control what happens. It's more than happy with the truth that I don't know what's going to happen, because it knows I don't need to. That's the only place I can have surprise and delight. And I do want those things. I want to be delightfully surprised. And that is a matter of my angling into what is. My opening to it. My trust of myself, my trust of life. To bring fun in all kinds of forms that I'm not defining. I'm not saying what fun looks like. I know that I can find it in anything. I know that I can find fun in anything. What else matters? I am existing. What else is there to ask for? What else is there? I'm good. I can't be anything other than good. I'm being. That's all it takes. I'm being. I can find fun. I can bring joy. I am my own joy. I am my own truth. I don't need other truth and other joy. It all comes from in here. I bring that. I bring that to the party. So, why am I worried? If I'm the one bringing joy to the party, I'm the one bringing fun, then I don't need to know what else is happening at this party. I don't need to know who's going to be there. I don't need to know what they're bringing. I'm bringing what I want. What I want to experience is being brought by me, and can only ever be brought by me. And I can just keep choosing to do that. No matter what, no matter where I go, I'm taking my fun and my joy with me. So I don't need to know what's coming. I don't need to know where I'm going. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have fun and I'm gonna enjoy it. Because that's my choice. Because that's what I do. That is all I do. That is the only thing I can do. I can choose to have fun or not. I can choose to be in joy or not. And it's not a problem either if I'm choosing to not. because I can always choose joy again, and it's not some kind of test. There's nothing that's being held in the balance. Just the fun that I'm having in this moment. That's all. That's the only thing. And it's not at risk. There's no permanence to any of this. It is moment by moment. And am I choosing to have fun? Am I choosing to bring joy? Am I choosing to bring love? Maybe this anger is a form of it. It's certainly fun. It's certainly invigorating. That's a kind of fun that I'm finding. Even if I am swept up in the drama of a moment, the second that I recognize that it's scintillating, ooh, the drama, oh, the horror, oh, the disgust, isn't it a wonderful thing to feel the intensity of a reaction? And then I'm consciously experiencing that again. I'm recognizing that I am creating all of these feelings, and I'm creating them because I want to feel them, because it's fun to feel. That's it. That's all I got. I don't know. I don't need to know anything. And I am happy to be in that awareness. That's the only knowing that matters.